Hi everyone, welcome to Unit 2, the overview for the unit entitled Information Literacy. You've made it through the first week, so that's the good news. In this overview, I want to let you know what's coming up in this second unit. Now this unit's going to last 2 weeks, so when we get to the list of things that you'll be doing, keep that in mind. Just to give you kind of a feeling for what's going to be coming up in this unit, we're really going to focus on defining what we mean by the term information literacy. And you'll find as you do some exploring that there are several different definitions that are similar but also unique. And I think that uniqueness comes from the background that different groups bring to the term information literacy. So you have the library folks, you have the reading folks, you have the technology folks, and they each have their own perspective, and you'll see that comes into play in these different definitions. We're also going to be looking at the role that information literacy plays in our world today, and especially in the area where you teach. In our Getting Started unit, we looked at your own experiences with doing a search, and so we're going to add on to that activity during this unit. So my best suggestion is for you to go to the modules in Canvas, go to Unit 2, get the checklist, print that off. Use that as your guide for what to do in this unit. When you look at the unit, looks like there are a lot of things in that folder, but when you look at the checklist, you'll really be able to zero in on what it is you need to do. So the first part is you're going to be gathering information. You're going to be doing some viewing and some reading. And in the viewing department, you're going to be getting to know Michael Eisenberg, one of the leaders in information literacy. He does come with a library information perspective. He and his colleagues, I should say, have designed a model called Big Six, and maybe you've heard of this one before. There are several information literacy models out there. His is probably the best known, and it's used from elementary up through college age students. So you'll see a big perspective here in his work. He's a pretty interesting guy to listen to. There are a couple different videos that I want you to take a look at. And he does help define information literacy, helps to clear up some of the misconceptions based on his perspective. So that's what I want you to keep in mind. This is his view. He is not the be-all, end-all. There are other views, so kind of keep that, take what he says with a grain of salt, I guess that's what I'll say. You're also going to meet Carol Kofua, and from Carol's work, you're going to be reading an article that focuses on her model of the information search process or information literacy. She also comes with a library background. She is probably best known for the term guided inquiry, which is a teacher, librarian leading students through the inquiry process. But you see here in the diagram, and you'll see in what you read, that she has designed a model for helping to explain how we search for information. And I want you to get to know her. Those would, I think, be two of the most well-known researchers in the area of information literacy, especially from the library perspective. So you'll be doing some reading, you'll be doing some viewing, and then you'll be doing some activities. So let's talk a little bit about what those activities are. First of all, I want you to help us create our own definition of information literacy based on our perspectives as educators. And so to do that, there's two parts to this assignment. You can read all the instructions for this assignment in the module in Canvas. You're going to be creating a question about information literacy, and then you're going to be finding some resources to help answer that question. And you're going to be sharing those using a website called Padlet. And I want you to use this website because it's so simple. It's one I hope you might think about using in your own teaching because it requires no login, no password, ID information. It's great to use with kids. So I have set up two Padlets for us. One is where we're going to post our questions. The other is where we're going to post the resources that we find. And you'll see those instructions. The next thing I want you to look at on your checklist are the topics for our discussion board. So every unit we're going to have an activity, a discussion board, and then a place for you to post a summary. So I just shared with you the activity for Unit 2. Now here's the discussion board topic for Unit 2. There's 2 topics actually. So please go in and read the assignment description for what to do on the discussion board. That's posted in our module in Canvas. It explains what kinds of things I want you to post, how I want you to do that, how long the post should be, how many posts you should make. You'll need to go in and read all of those things. But our 2 topics for this unit, one is looking at information literacy standards from some different perspectives, and then another one is sharing your experiences in the search tests that you did in Unit 1. All right, our next activity is for you to respond to what you read and viewed in this unit, similar to what you did in Unit 1. So you're going to view the videos with Michael Eisenberg, you're going to read Carol Kathua and the Internet Inquiry article. Those are listed on the checklist. You're going to do those things, and then I want you to take what you gathered from those things and sift it down into a summary. I want you to post that summary in our discussion board with your small group that you've been assigned to, and then I want you to respond to the other people in your group. And you can see in Canvas a written description of exactly what I want you to do here for this assignment. All right, the next one is called 3-2-1, and it's a chance for you to begin doing some reading about specific topics related to information literacy. So I'm going to ask you to find an article from a research journal. I've created a folder with, I don't know how, there's probably 24 articles in there, and you are welcome to pick any of those articles, but if you want to get creative and go out and search on your own, you can also do that too. I'd just like to see the title of your article before you start your assignment. And you can read in Canvas what you'll actually be doing in your assignment. It's basically an article review, and it has a little format that I want you to follow. Now, here's the clincher. For this course, the kind of a long term, you're going to be creating your own inquiry project based on a professional topic related to information literacy. And you can read about that. It's posted in the Canvas course. It's called the Professional Inquiry Project. If you plan it right, the article that you pick for this 3-2-1 assignment could be an article that you're going to use for your project. So you want to give some consideration to that project at this point so that you can maybe save yourself some time later on. All right, then the last thing that I'm going to have you do in Unit 2 has to do with that professional inquiry project. I want you to decide what it is you want to know more about. And so I want you to choose that topic and design a question for what you want to know more about and explain why. And you can read about that in the Canvas module. And so there you go. That's the work for the next 2 weeks. These activities are all due February 11th. So you'll be able to kind of space out your work. Hopefully you read in the syllabus my policy about homework passes. If you haven't, you'll probably want to check that out just in case. You never know, sometimes things come up, but you'll want to read about that to see how many you get and how you should use them. As always, if you have questions about assignments, please do ask. I'm happy to share information with you. And sometimes your question, a lot of times it's the same question that other people have, and so you're helping them out too. The last but not least, the next thing you should do after watching this video is watch the content video that I created, and it will give you some background information before you get into the reading. Otherwise, have a good unit, and we'll be in touch.